and welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, here with your readings for November the 11th through November the 17th. If you're new, welcome. I really hope you enjoy these readings and that you'll come back. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your loyalty and your support. I really appreciate you. Thank you for your likes, comments, shares, and for all the new subscribers too. Now, these are general readings, guys. They are for the collective. So please take what resonates and leave the rest. They come in three sections: the intro, which is this, the astrological report, and then the tarot reading. And there are timestamps below in the show more section. If you have a phone, it's a little arrow pointing down, click on that and all the information is in there. It's also for your sun, moon and rising, so you will find the links to the other videos in that section too. So listen, as I said before, it's for the collective, these readings. So if you would like a more tailored, in-depth, personalized reading, please click on this link here, which will take you to my website and you can look at the kind of readings that I offer. What else? Yes, I have a Facebook group, guys, and that Facebook group, it's a private group. You have to ask to be to get in, to be included, and that link is below too. Now, in that Facebook group, it's a really positive environment. People post positive things, and then every 2 weeks I do a live feed specifically for my Facebook group, and in that it correlates every 2 weeks. It correlates with the new moon and the full moon, and we look at how anybody who attends the live feed, we look at their horoscope and how they're receiving the energies from the new moon or the full moon respectively. And I also have tarot cards on hand and I answer questions. We hang out for about an hour and we really enjoy ourselves. So if you would like that, this link to that will be below also, so check that out. And another way to support this channel and my creative content is through Patreon. So you can click on that just to check out my Patreon page. I do post things on Patreon that I don't post anywhere else. And I want to take this opportunity to really thank my patrons. Thank you so much. You really help me out. So I really appreciate you. Now, what else? Yes, let's go to the astrology report, shall we? Hello and welcome to the astrology section of your reading for November the 11th through November the 17th. And wow, that's all I can say. Listen, the full moon in Taurus on Tuesday is only the tip of the iceberg. We have all this dynamic celestial sky this week. Some really wonderful aspects are happening this week. Now, I'll start with some of the exact aspects and when they're happening, and then I'll go on to what's going on with the full moon. So Monday, November the 11th, the sun is conjunct Mercury. That means it's right next to Mercury, right? Very close. Tuesday, we have the full moon in Taurus, and we have Mars sextile Jupiter. That's a beautiful harmonious aspect going on there. Wednesday the 13th, we have Mercury trine Neptune. That's also a lovely harmonious connection between the two planets. And Thursday, November the 14th, Venus is square Neptune. That is a challenging aspect. We also have other energies and aspects that are moving into place or moving out of place. So they all play a role actually in the celestial sky. So let's start with the full moon in Taurus, shall we? The full moon, as most of you know, is when the moon is opposite the sun, and it's actually the sun's reflection that illuminates the moon. So with the moon in Taurus, and that means with the moon in Taurus, the sun is in Scorpio because they're opposite each other on the wheel, right, in the chart. The moon is exalted in Taurus, which means that it can express itself fully. So the moon is nurturing, magnetic, feminine. And in Taurus, the moon is good-natured, generous, and loyal. There's a tendency for being emotionally connected to one's values and material possessions, and a strong need for security, right? Material security. At the same time as this full moon, the moon is in a harmonious aspect to Pluto. Now, this creates an energy of sensitivity and intense emotional feelings. It's a being absorbed with interpersonal relationships, of being coveted over one's emotions and feelings. We want to kind of hide that. We don't want that out in the open. At the same time, I am displaying the chart of the full moon, so maybe you can follow along with some of the things that I'm saying, and you can get a picture of what's going on too. For those of you who understand charts. Now, so it brings in intuition and psychic ability. The moon's relationship with Pluto, and it can give you a strong look. It's being able to read people and recognize inauthenticity. We can see through people. We know when someone's not being authentic. And it can give you a strong will and focus to accomplish goals with which to manifest your dreams. This is like a dream creating full moon, right? We can create our dreams. We can manifest our dreams. We can make them real. It can also bring up control issues. So we need to be mindful of the urge to control situations and or people. It can be expressed through us being a bit bossy, perhaps, during this transit. It is also worth mentioning that the moon at the same time is kind of in a loose, harmonious aspect with Neptune, which further enhances our psychic and intuitive abilities. It can also give us a really deep appreciation for music, art, and nature. We also need to be mindful not to sacrifice ourselves for others, and keep a firm grip on reality, because Neptune can skew our perceptions of what's really going on. However, Saturn is connecting harmoniously to Neptune and to the moon, so there is some structure and discipline to bring ideas into tangible creations. So we just want to make sure that we're not compromising ourselves for others. And if we focus on our creativity, we can really bring things to life. Now, the sun in Scorpio is right next to Mercury, which brings in creative thinking and energetic communication with a bigger picture view. So because Mercury is still in retrograde, there can be some misunderstandings, but they can easily be rectified because of all these positive, wonderful aspects that are going on. Now, the Sun and Mercury have also have a harmonious connection to Pluto and Saturn, somewhat to a bit lesser of a degree, which brings in the need to be recognized for one's accomplishments, for being in the spotlight. And the concentration is on speech and communications, yet again. So this sets the stage for shrewdness in business and negotiations. Now, that's a wonderful aspect. And then listen, that's not all. The Sun and Mercury are also harmoniously connected to Neptune, bringing in creative and visionary talents. So it's amazing for literary accomplishments, particularly writing, fantasy, poetry, or even in the visual arts. Any creative project will, take off and will really work. So now also, I'm finished yet, guys. Mars is sextile Jupiter. Now, this is a wonderful, confident energy, abundant energy. It's like we're energized, right? Feeling really excited and confident about ourselves and, really good luck in materialism with a penchant for higher learning or spiritual studies in alignment, perhaps. And long-distance travel is also on the table with this aspect. Perhaps you're going on a long trip or you're planning one. You may be contemplating a spiritual retreat even in a remote location. So an optimistic nature with a love of freedom and independence is the underlying beautiful energy of that aspect. Now, then on Thursday, we move into Venus square Neptune, but all these aspects are kind of happening all week simultaneously, right? So it's kind of a big mishmash. You have to kind of choose you have the power to choose your energy and how you want to direct it. Now, Venus is square Neptune, and that's a challenging aspect. It brings in issues of self-esteem, confidence, and insecurities. So if you have a poor self-image during this transit, you may have a distorted view of your partner or your date if it's a new, or, your acquaintance if it's a new relationship. You may see relationships in an odd way. Perhaps you have an idealistic romantic storybook vision of relationships, which can lead you to ignore red flags when you meet someone new. You could get taken advantage of, become a doormat in a relationship. If the relationship is rocky already, if it's on firm ground, I think you'll be able to move through this aspect pretty unscathed. But if it's new and it's a bit rocky, then, you could kind of, become the doormat, or worse, allow inappropriate behavior in some way. It's important to practice acceptance and the love of oneself during this time, and I would look at this aspect also creates a heightened need for love and affection. So I would resist the urge to commit or to trust someone until after this transit. Focus instead on building self-esteem and self-respect and confidence. All right, guys. So I told you that's like major this week, right? So without further ado, let's go to your tarot reading, shall we? Hello, Aries, and welcome to your reading for November the 11th through November the 17th. This is for Aries. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aries for this coming week? May these cards be filled with love, abundance, and compassion. Okay, 3 cards for Aries. Oh, there's 2. Oh, wow, darling. Yes. I have shuffled these beforehand, and wow. Okay, you have lovely cards here. Okay, these are clarifying cards for Aries. May they be filled with love, compassion, and blessings. Sorry for the noise out there. It's New York. It's a bit chilly out there. People are in a rush. They're not happy. But some are happy. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aries through these clarifying cards for November the 11th through the 17th? Please clarify. Oh, please clarify. And please clarify. Oh, okay. Lovely. Okay, let's take a look at your cards, Aries. The first card out for you is the Knight of Wands, clarified by the Four of Wands. Then you have the Wheel of Fortune, darling, clarified by the Three of Cups. Then you have the Eight of Swords, clarified by the Ten of Wands. Oh dear, my nose is itchy. Spirit is here. Lovely. I had a lovely meditation before I started this reading. So the first card up for you is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands can represent somebody coming in. This is like passion, love. He's like, here I come to save the day. He's here to save all the damsels in distress. This is about moving. It's about movement. It's about staying in action. It's about, continuing the journey of what you're on. Now, the Knight is a wonderful, loyal energy, but he doesn't stay. I don't want to say loyal. I want to say gallant, right? So he's here to save the day. He doesn't stay around too long. He kind of gets bored, and he has lots of damsels in distress to save. So, he can be an opportunity coming in. You've got to think on your feet. This energy can tend to be rash. So I would be thoughtful before making a decision. Give it some thought. Don't rush in somewhere. This is like impulsive energy. You can be a little impulsive during this time. So you want to be careful about what you're impulsive about. So be careful about decisions that can really affect your life, basically. Now, clarifying it is the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands suggests something that's coming to an end. So maybe the Knight has been this incredible creative energy coming in for you, and you have laid down a foundation and completed a part of your project or a part of your job or something that you have built this wonderful foundation. This is this is 4 posters, right? I always think of this as like a table. It's the stability that you build on from which you can jump off. And depicted in this image are a couple who are very happy. It kind of can relate to a homecoming, or somebody that you haven't seen for a while comes into your life. It can be renewing relations from the past, or coming home. It's definitely a celebratory card. I always think of this as kind of something that perhaps a creative project that you've completed and you feel very proud of. And it's a cause for celebration. So there is a cause for celebration in your life right now, Aries. And you have the Wheel of Fortune next. And it's turning in your direction. I'm gonna make you love me. Oh, yes, I will. I will. I always sing that when the Wheel of Fortune comes up, because I think of that song when it's like, it's turning in your direction. And then, I'm gonna make you love me anyway. The Wheel of Fortune is consistently turning. And I'm really getting that this is turning in your direction, Aries. Now, when the Wheel of Fortune comes into a reading, it's like, grab onto it, darling, because it's coming up in your direction, but, it'll be going down again. That's life, right? It comes up and it goes down. It's like, good luck, not so good luck. You know, reaping days, learning days. You have some reaping days here. You've got some lovely blessings coming in for you. So look for the blessings and celebrate the magic in every moment, because, you know, the more it creates a magnet, right, to attract more things for which to celebrate. So yes, you've got the Three of Cups clarifying the Wheel of Fortune. So things look really good for you, Aries. So be in celebratory mode. Be proud of yourself. Self-love, self-esteem. Really, build up your confidence and acknowledge what you have accomplished. It's really important to do that. Now, the next card out is the Eight of Swords. So there's some aspect of your life where you're feeling trapped. So what I'm getting right now is perhaps things aren't going financially or haven't gone as well as you've expected them to, and you feel that there's no way out. This is, when the Eight of Swords comes up, it's an illusionary card. She's got the blindfold up and she's not seeing that she's created this prison in her mind. So this can be one of those old stories that you go back to in your mind where you say, oh yeah, of course, this is my lot in life, right? We believe this. We've got the peanut gallery in our mind, the monkey brain going, yeah, of course, you can't get out of this. You're never going to make it. You're not smart enough, not good enough. You don't have the talents. You're never going to get another job. You're not going to, get another lover. Whatever they are saying to you, whatever your internal dialogue is. It's like working overtime here. And this is all, swords are intellect, right? They're either looking at the truth or not looking at the truth. So this is an illusion, right? There is always a solution. And I say this, listen, even Thelma and Louise had a choice, right? I mean, yeah, they drove off a cliff. And I'm not suggesting any of you drive off a cliff. However, it was a choice. They either faced the music and got arrested, or they drove off a cliff and they chose to be free, hold hands and drive off a cliff. There's a choice there. Now, what I'm getting here, right, because you have the 10 of Wands clarifying the 8 of Swords, is that you have all this baggage that you're carrying, and look, when the 10 of Wands comes in, it's like you've got to delegate, you've got to ask for help. Perhaps you're feeling trapped and you've taken on all these responsibilities, or you're bringing this could be emotional baggage that's getting you to think like this, that you're bringing from the past. You'll never be successful. You'll never make it. It's not in the plan. You're always going to be poor. You're always going to be, whatever the dialogue is, it can be that emotional baggage that you're taking in, the storyline, right? That's weighing you down and holding you back from proceeding forward. So I would say, and particularly around, with this aspect going on with Pluto involved, and with this, Neptune, is it Neptune square? Let me have a look at the chart. Yes, with Venus square Neptune. So we can have, that kind of low self-esteem, and we can be challenged personally. And it's interesting that this is at the end of the week, right? This is the end of the reading, the last two cards. So just be mindful of that and know that it's all about, if you have a poor self-image, you might go down that road. Bring yourself up. You've got the Wheel of Fortune, darling. Count your blessings. Stay in the I haves and not the I have nots. Don't allow the monkey brain to control you. Now, I always say meditation is the antidote for this, right? Meditation, it's not like we can control our mind. We can't, but we can get to the point where we don't allow our mind to control us, to dictate our mood or our behaviors or our actions, right? Aries. Aries, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, social media. That would really help me. I'm almost at 10K, guys. Help me get over that. It's been a little slow growth last week, but you know, I'm getting there. And comment. I live for comments and feedback, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.